Akshay Chandramoli, part of the marketing team at Paperflite. Before we move on to the next session, field marketers in the house, can you give me a woot woot in the chat box so we could get the ball rolling? Let's get to this session. As a field marketer, you may have 99 problems, but you know for sure that your sales pipeline shouldn't be one of them. And no one knows this better than our next speaker, who is the MVP when it comes to creating consistent and repeatable demand generation. Annika Helmrich, it's your time to shine.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Let me just share my screen one moment here. Perfect. Okay, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can, Annika. Over to you now.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. So welcome to my session on Piñatas break, sales pipelines shouldn't. What does that really mean? Well, today I'm going to break down for you how personalized experiences can help your sales team drive accelerated pipeline and shorter sales cycles. This is more or less a how-to session. But first I'd like to thank Paperflite for having me here today. And you know, when my team and I started working with Paperflite, I think over a year ago now, we realized quickly that you guys were just a fantastic partner for us. You guys had a lot of patience. We were just starting out with our ABM content experiences, and I felt like you know, the team over there, you guys were great listeners and awesome problem solvers for us. So we really appreciate that. All right, just a little bit about me. I'm been marketing for over 20 years, mainly in B2B software marketing, primarily supply chain software companies. And currently I'm leading a team of global field marketing at E2Open. We are a fast-growing supply chain software company based in Austin, Texas, but very much globally around the world. I'm in New Jersey, actually, where I'm residing today. So I have 12 field marketers on my team driving global ABM campaigns to cross-sell existing clients and acquire new logos as well for our newly expanded 9 industry-focused business units. So very excited to talk a little bit about what we've done today, for supporting our 9 business units for both new logo and existing. Last year, the field marketing team at E2Open, we set out to test and optimize our ABM approach, which kind of more or less an ABX approach nowadays. But we found that setting up sales for success with content targeting programs and that align with the buyer's journey enabled the team to see an immediate impact on our pipeline acceleration. So what is our winning algorithm to accelerating pipeline? We started with precision-based targeting, so that means identifying the accounts that were already in market and having that maybe also had newly created pipeline, plus adding that with relevant content that's engaging and personalized to the account. For us, that equaled very much faster close rates for us in higher pipeline acceleration. So we adopted these content hubs into our ABM, mainly our one-to-one ABM strategy for our active sales cycles. After trying multiple platforms, we did learn a few things. We learned that you need a platform that enables a repeatable and scalable process. You need to define your use case. In our case, at the outset of onboarding a platform, we told the sales team that we needed to just focus on active sales cycles. That was our one use case, so we can really make sure that we make an impact there. Next, you needed to personalize, or we needed to personalize the content journey for the buying personas and the buying stages. So it's really all about getting to the right buyer at the right time with the right content. And then finally, I need to create a self-service model that sales can quickly and easily adopt. You don't want to be marketing being there as their support desk at all times, right? You want to give them the tools that they need to do this themselves. So today, I will say we have enabled our entire global sales team to create hubs. As of today, I believe there's over 500 opportunity-driven content hubs, and adoption is continuing to increase. These hubs have also uncovered net new contacts on our opportunities. Specifically, about 50% of overall engagement have been from newly discovered contacts we have maybe never knew even existed. So that's a huge benefit for us in our very in our very complex sales cycles that require reaching out and finding new buying personas across multiple buying committees globally. And most importantly, these hubs are helping to accelerate million-dollar deals on average for our sales team. So, they're happy. So let's break down a few key steps to leveraging hubs successfully. So this is the how-to part for you. Step one is to define your use case, and really at the beginning, try not to detour. There are many use cases for this. In the beginning, in our case, we originally defined the primary purpose of Content Hubs was to support active sales cycles to accelerate and grow pipeline. So these opportunity-based hubs were either supporting RFP process with a highly personalized, centralized location to share relevant information across the accounts, with the account across the various buyers, or to help to expand our existing footprint at some of our existing accounts by providing one place for the client to understand the full scope of offerings and illustrate where we can fill in the white space. And so we are establishing ourselves in this way, kind of as a trusted long-term partner. They can come back to this content hub. We continue to add that content as we grow our relationship with them. So today, our enterprise sales teams are adapting that use case. They are looking at using them these hubs more to include reducing churn with our existing clients, as well as acquiring new clients based on fit, intent signals, and engagement scores as well. So I'll get a little bit more into that in a bit. So step two is syncing your content. If your provider has an integration with a CMS, like a SharePoint, you can assure that your sales team is leveraging only approved and up-to-date content and not stale, outdated content living somewhere on laptops or various networks and other computers that just goes out of date very quickly, as you know. So this is really good for version control. If content is updated in your CMS, the content will be updated automatically in the content hubs. That's, we really worked with Paperflite in this case to really make sure that that was happening. And as you add new content, that gets continuously added. And then most importantly, you should tag and categorize your content where it lives first. So do that on your SharePoint and make sure that it transfers over to your hub platform, making it very easy for the sales team to pull in content that's relevant to the to anything you're categorizing, like the solution area, your industry, your buying stage, your persona, all of that. You can do it, categorize the content any way you like, depending on your business and your needs and your go-to-market strategy. And you can restrict the content too. That's another thing. That's not meant for so want to make sure that you're not sharing content, or that your sales team understands they're not sharing content that's only meant for internal purposes. These hubs are designed for one-to-one sharing, but there may be content in there that's not meant for internal, or that's only meant for internal eyes only and not meant for external sharing. So you can do that too. All right, step three is personalizing and sharing to take your clients on a personalized buying journey. So really, that's what this is all about. The more you personalize, the more sincere you are, the more you show how you understand their pain, and you can demonstrate that you are their trusted partner with the solution that fits their needs. So we recommended to the sales team to add personal Zoom videos, introducing the client to the hub. So that's a really nice personal touch. Add a professionally produced custom video on your solution, and maybe even add a demo recording. So you're in a long sales cycle, you have a demo after the qualification or the discovery and qualification stage, then you can add that recording to the hub as well, and that lives there for additional stakeholders in the buying journey to also come back and access that. And then, there's no limit either to the number of videos and files you can add. And then make sure you include your file information, or your profile information front and center right there. And the more you personalize, the better again. And then sharing is a really critical function to make sure you are sharing with a personalized link allows you to track and the content engagement on the hub at a user level. Step 4 is enabling sales adoption. So this is the really critical piece here when it comes to partnering with sales and setting them up for success. So we created a training content hub in order to set up sales for success and include a detailed SOP, video demos, as well as we created our own training material just on our own with various other user guides, and then we also received some training material from our vendor as well. We put them all on a hub where they can access that, and we can actually see, how much of the content is the sales team engaging with, so we can understand that better. And if we need to, come back to a all hands training again because we haven't seen people leveraging the training hub, we'll do that too. So we've also created and provided access to clonable templates for each of the sales areas that the sales team can easily clone and get started right away with maybe some minor adjustments and tweaking they want to make it more personalized for the account. But recently, Each Open at my company, we recently restructured our company, and now we've expanded into 9 business units, all focused around client industries. So today, the field marketing team is working on putting together some industry-specific templates, not just around solutions, but focused on all industry content, and then templates that are designed for sales best bets. So rather than or applications that are more likely to sell within in each industry. So we're kind of really fine-tune those templates for those in those cases. And finally, establish an SLA so that sales has a clear understanding of how to create hubs and when marketing supports them in the process. While we made this truly self-service for sales, we do ask sales collaborates or shares their hubs with the marketing team so that at any point we can jump in and we can make content changes, update images and links. And marketing is really that safety net to be there, to be available, and to ensure the best experience is created. But again, sales can do it on their own as well. So I think it's the best scenario that we've set up for this. Next, step 5 is engagement reporting. You need to track your engagement, of course, your content engagement on each hub, and tie the engagement back to your opportunity with the goal of increasing close rates. Your platform should offer you your key engagement metrics. Those could include the number of shares, the unique viewers, the asset views, average view time, and most popular content that's being shared across the various hubs or within that hub itself. So make sure to look at these KPIs holistically across all of your hubs, as well as on a hub-specific level. And further on step 5 for engagement reporting, like any key channel in your marketing mix, make sure you set up your CRM and your marketing automation platform, integrate and make sure it's integrated so you can track lead creation and pipeline attribution from these hubs. So here's a couple of examples of reports I put in here where we're looking at accelerated pipeline. Accelerated pipeline is one of our monthly and quarterly KPIs, so we look at that very closely. And so with the content hubs, we can drill down into our content hub program channel in Marketo, in this case, and we can see a significant increase in the last 2 months, actually, in accelerated pipeline from some of these content hubs. So it's really exciting to see that and share that back with the sales team. And lastly, if you really want to take your ABM or ABX to the next level, start leveraging buyer intent data. I think everyone's doing that these days. We are using an ABM platform to identify intent-based buying signals. We are starting to use this third-party data to inform how we personalize the content in these opportunity-based hubs. We're still at the beginning stages. But I think marketing can really add value in this process by delivering intent-based insights to the account owner and the sales organization so that they can that helps them tailor the content for competitive differentiation. For one example, for example, if the account is searching on competitors during an RFP process, you can highlight where you excel in comparison to your competitor. And in this case here, we identified a cross-sell opportunity with our existing account. In this case, the key influencers were searching on other application areas that were not included in the original opportunity scope. So it allowed us to figure that out and drill down and maybe create a new conversation and add content to the hub relevant to the other application that we hadn't discovered or had previously qualified. So as a result of these insights, sales can share with new buyers that were not previously known or not previously part of the buying committee, as I said before. And finally, lastly, really think about multi-touch and multi-channel with your content experiences. Automate intent-based orchestration by adding these influencers to an intent-driven nurture campaign that complements the Content Hub. We're just starting to do that, and we're excited about how that's going to, work in a one-to-one account-based model, and we'll be looking to expand that in more of a one-to-few and maybe one-to-many down the road. But that's our story as it stands today, and we're looking to continue to drive more impact on our pipeline with our Content Hub. So thanks for listening to me. I hope this how-to on making an impact on the buying journey through personalized Content Hubs is helpful on your journey, on your ABM journey as well. So that's all I got.
Annika, what a brilliant session this was. Thank you so much once again for doing this, Annika. Now I'm going to be reading out a few very interesting questions we've got from the audience. The first one is, who were the stakeholders you involved early on to build this winning algorithm?
We initially worked with our field operations team to scope out, what a tool like this would entail to roll out to the sales team. So that was the first, and then we worked with all of the leadership of the sales team within our different business units, because we have so many business units and so many, stakeholders in those business units. We had to kind of discuss with them how this would work and if the teams would, embrace and adopt this. And they, as soon as we had a few success stories under our belt that we could share and socialize with the rest of the company, the business units, that really helped us, roll this out. And, I don't even know, in the beginning, it was many people kind of signing up here and there, and then all of a sudden you saw these, the user numbers really increase, and everyone's really jumping on the bandwagon and doing their own content hubs. But yes, I mean, it's really important at the beginning to get everyone from field ops, marketing, cross-functional marketing teams onboarded and understanding what we're looking to achieve.
Mm-hmm. Love that, Annika. But did you face any challenges while you try to bring on these stakeholders?
Sure. It's always, all of these types of tools we're competing with other tools that are onboarding and other priorities. And if people, in the company or others across the organization and within your own marketing organization don't necessarily see the value right away, that took some time. It took some time to build that use case and, just kind of convince everyone this is going to be a success. And so, so that we had a little stumbling, or took a little longer to kind of get started than I would have hoped, but we got there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. And how has working with sales really improved your marketing activities, Annika?
Well, in field marketing, I mean, that's what it's all about. It's really being about marketing, about really being, in step with them so closely. Otherwise, that is our role, to be essentially supporting their goals and helping them kind of just fully aligned with them. So I call each of my field marketers a CMO within their own business unit, and so they had to absolutely be part of this initiative, and so I feel pretty confident. very confident in where we are, and also very grateful for the sales team we have. We're really an enterprise company that is looking to, break boundaries and move quickly, and just, take on the best technology that we have in front of us that we can leverage to be successful. So.
I love the idea of considering every field marketer as a CMO, Annika. I think that mindset shift is going to help a lot of teams watching this. So that kind of brings me towards the end of these questions. So here is the last but one question. What should you focus on the most when it comes to engagement metrics, Annika? What are the metrics that you personally track?
This is a hard one. There are so many KPIs, and it depends on your go-to-market strategy. And we have new logos and we have existing with account-based marketing. It used to be MQL, it used to be account, looking at just the account engagement scores. But really, what it comes down to is revenue. So we're moving in that direction. How much revenue can these programs impact? And certainly we're looking at accelerated and impacted and influenced pipeline, absolutely. But at the end of the day, revenue marketers are where who we are. So I think that's the most important.
Got that, Annika. So there's a very interesting question when you were presenting your slide deck. If you had to explain to a 5-year-old what an MQL means, how do you explain it to them, Annika?
Oh my goodness, I wonder who asked that question. I have a 5-year-old, so that's funny. Let's see, how would I explain it to her? It's people that have shown greater interest in you and what you have to offer than someone else, right? So it's someone who's shown greater interest in you than someone else, and how and through their actions, right? I'm not breaking it down to a 5-year-old analogy, but yeah.
I think you did pretty well there, Annika. So to get a little more personal, Annika, what is the biggest risk you took in field marketing?
Well, when I came over to E2Open, we had our company's grown quite a bit by acquisition. Came over from E2Open 2.5 years ago. We didn't have a field marketing team, and we started one. We built that foundation as a team for field marketing to support all the business units, and we started to roll out account-based marketing. And I still think we've got a ways to go. I think everyone is feeling like there's so much more we could do. As far as the making what the risk was, what risk I could take in field marketing. Just looking to explore new ways of and new tools. I think we're always doing that though, and I don't know how much of a risk it is, but we're just constantly looking to how can we shift some of that manual work and move it into an automated way that's going to drive more efficiencies. And overall, our teams are, we are hard workers, we're problem solvers, and we do so much. And and one of the things now is not a risk, but we are truly taking a stand in decluttering our teams. Like there's so much we're doing, and we just need to prioritize and declutter all of the things that maybe are not that important or don't have an impact on what we're doing. So that is maybe it's a bit of a risk because we have to put our foot down and say no. So to many functional teams around in the company, and that's kind of a bit of a risk, but we're doing it. So.
Fantastic. It's interesting you mentioned prioritizing things, Annika, because that is one of the biggest challenges for a lot of teams out there. So what is your litmus test to see if an activity is worth pursuing or if it's not?
Well, if it's, we usually try to get buy-in from the field, from the sales team. That is really important as a field marketer. At the same time, we want to come with data. We don't want to just, say it looks like on paper it looks good. We want to make sure that we've done the program, we've done the activity in the past. Let's pull those results. Let's pull the metrics from pipeline metrics and say, is this worth our time? Look at that and then kind of get some of that first party data from the field. Also look at the third party data, like the intent that we're seeing, and that has helped us. We're starting to prioritize where we spend, which accounts we focus on, because now we know that there is some sort of buying signals. So rather than just casting a wide net, let's focus in on those that we know that have some interest.
Wonderful, Annika. You mentioned accounts here, Annika. So I'm very curious to know, reports aside, the standard metrics aside, what do you consider success when it comes to running ABM campaigns?
Well, I'm sorry, what was I couldn't hear that last part.
So reports aside, keeping the metrics aside, the usual vanity metrics that get spoken about, keeping that aside, what is success for you when it comes to ABM personally as a field marketer?
I would think for me, it's just to see that we're growing the relationship with the customer. And yes, there's metrics, and we're seeing higher annual recurring revenue and all that, but just to see some retention in the account, and that they're staying with us and they're giving us references as a customer for other activities that we need. I think that's a huge. So as a field marketer, the more we work with the customer success team as well with our clients, the better. And one thing I wanted to say too, I keep interchanging the word customer and client, and we've been talking about that a lot lately with our team, and we're moving in a direction of really referring to those who buy from us as clients rather than customers, because our clients are those who are longer partners. They stay with us further. They buy from us repeatedly, and they stay with us for the long haul. And we are in an enterprise buying cycle, so it's not like a customer that just comes in for 1 12-month subscription. Clients are more where we would reference them as clients, because they're much more longer term, and we're building on that relationship. So.
I mean, if there was ever an award for being given a perfect answer, I think your answer bags it, Annika.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now,
Thank you.
So if you could give any one piece of advice to aspiring field marketers, what would that be, Annika?
I think that field marketing is, I just think that you have to be ready to adapt and grow and be quick on your feet to just pivot in different ways. And if that's exciting to you, I think that field marketing is a great career for you, because at least it needs to open in the supply chain industry. Of course, supply chain right now, it's such a hot topic where we are in our industry. So things are just moving quick and fast, and we have to be able to pivot quickly, and it makes it exciting. So I would say, someone who's excited to be in that kind of environment, this is a great field to be in.
I think with that, you've made field marketers across the globe proud, Annika. Thank you so much once again for being here at Unmute. Love hosting you, Annika.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, and love working with you guys as well.
Oh, thank you so much for cheering us on.